Welcome to Community Taking Action, ABCD's program highlighting people and organizations doing great things in and around the Boston area. My name is Eric Mitchell, I'm your host, and here today to join us is Rachel Gardner, Director of Youth Hub Boston, which is a relatively new program in Boston. Why don't you talk to us about Youth Hub?
So Youth Hub is a brand new startup organization. We've only been around now for about a year and a half, and our goal is really simple. We're located in Codman Square, community-based, and we're seeking to increase, improve, and innovate youth employment in Codman Square so that every youth who wants a job can have a job.
Now, are there steps that go behind each of those? So increase, improve, and then innovate?
We know that only 25% of youth in the Codman Square neighborhood have a job at any given time, whereas 90% say that they want or need a job. And so we really believe that employment is an important stepping stone for a lot of our youth living in our neighborhood toward successful adulthood. And so the first piece that we work on is really increasing youth employment. And so we want to move that number, increase it from 25% to 60% over the next 5 years and then beyond that. And then when it comes to improving youth employment, a job is not, it's not just enough to have a job. We really want quality jobs for our young people that really put them on a path towards successful adulthood and career readiness. And then innovate is the last piece that I said, and that's really about coming up with new solutions. It's partnering with those who have the tried and true solutions to the youth employment crisis, but then it's also engaging the community and coming up with new ideas and new solutions to create jobs.
As director of Youth Hub, and you've been there for a year and a half, talk about the history, because I think the history and the creation of Youth Hub Boston is necessary for our readers to understand what you've really been doing.
So Youth Hub is truly a community-birthed initiative. We started as a concept actually several years ago out of the Millennium 10 initiative community planning process in Codman Square Four Corners. And we brought together over the series of a couple years residents and organizations in the local community to think about and plan for the future of their community. And one of the areas that we focused on was youth and the issues and challenges that youth face.
And now that you are the director of Youth Hub Boston, and in many senses a co-founder with the community members, I would imagine, what are the activities that you and the other members and staff of Youth Hub Boston are engaged in? How are you going about that very exciting plan that you mentioned in the opening?
What's really unique about Youth Hub is that we go right to the community to define our solutions and to define our initiatives. And so what we do, the process that we go through is we train youth leaders who are really the ambassadors in the community to go out door to door, doing outreach in the neighborhood, really talking to their peers to figure out what the challenges are and the opportunities and really what they need in order to reach their short and long-term goals related to employment. We take that data, we do that through surveys, we take that data and together with the youth and our partners, we tear it apart, we look at it, and we develop initiatives and strategies based on what the youth are actually expressing as their needs.
And so I imagine you have lots of ideas about what needs to take place in order to get from low employment of youth to high employment of youth.
Youth employability is the first one.
And those are youth skills.
Exactly, their ability to gain and maintain employment. The second one is employer readiness. So that's really engaging employers around their own capacity to hire and employ youth successfully. And then the third area is community supports, is what we call it. And that's everything else that helps connect a youth and employers and helps them to be successful in that.
The employer piece, I think, is very interesting. What does that mean, employer readiness, and what type of employers are you looking for or working with in your area?
We're really looking to engage employers to help us, one, identify the skills that they're looking for in youth, but then also we want to know from employers, what do you need from us in order for this experience to be successful and meaningful for you and helpful to your business or your workplace?
And are the employers that you are interested in generally within the same area? So are they in the Codman Square area, or are they wherever you can get jobs?
Both. We have a multi-pronged strategy in that. So one is definitely engaging our local employers because we think that it's important to have that community support. But then we're also looking to partner with other employers in the city or even regional employers, some of the bigger ones, the ones who have a lot of jobs.
When I think of a neighborhood employer, I'm not necessarily thinking of a large manufacturer. I'm not thinking of a supermarket necessarily. Could be a supermarket or could be just a market. What kinds of training or supports are you finding that employers need at that level?
You know, I think part of it is there's this stigma around young people. Helping employers get over that stigma and see the asset that it really could be to hire a youth, especially a local youth. And we look at assets of youth working at businesses. They're going to bring in a younger clientele, right? They're going to bring in more customers. More of their friends are going to come and shop there. They're going to help with, a lot of times youth innately have this sense of marketing and this ability to help businesses understand how to reach a different demographic.
Challenges and successes.
There are a lot of needs in the community. You're right. When you're working with young people from the community, you encounter a lot of need, and we can't do it all. And so it's hard to focus just on one thing. Like, we're focusing on employment, but when you start talking about employment, you get into education, you get into family, and even sometimes health and things like that. So that's a challenge for us to stay focused. And also, you know, the way that we're trying to overcome that challenge is to partner with other organizations who focus on those areas and do it really well. We're working on equipping our youth leaders to really provide peer-to-peer support so that it will increase the capacity.
So you talked about capacity, and so I'm going to ask you to give me your best elevator pitch on your vision and plans for growth and the future.
So we really believe strongly in a replication model across neighborhoods. So we're community-based and we want to stay that way, but we think that there should be hubs in every neighborhood of Boston where youth can come and get the resources, get the support, get the skills that they need in order to really be on a path towards success. And we believe that if we can do that, then our youth leaders in these communities can be a part of the solution.
An employer, a youth supporter, how do they reach out to you? How do they find Youth Hub Boston?
We have a website, www.youthhubboston.org, or you can email me directly, Rachel Rachel with an E, RACHELE at youthhubboston.org.
Thank you very much for coming on the program, Rachel.
Thank you.
It was as exciting as I thought it might be, and hopefully we will have you back to talk about maybe we'll take a year and have you come back and talk about what has happened and where things are going and all the youth that have been put to work.
Great. Maybe I'll have a young person with me.
Maybe you'll have a young person with you. That would be that'd be a great plan.
Great.
All right.
Excellent.
Thank you for joining us on Community Taking Action. That concludes our program today. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you've missed any episodes, you can catch them on YouTube. I am your host, Eric Mitchell. Until next time.